So the premium content for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer has just had a big upgrade. So if you remember a few months ago when it was announced, we were basically going to be getting the command sprues for the orcs and for the Stormcast Eternal, which came out in the Dominion box a few years ago. Now that in itself would have been a fantastic deal. Well, I say fantastic deal. If you wanted to buy those sets, they were available at the time on the Games Workshop website, but they were way expensive for what they are. They're all gone now, but there has been a big change to the premiums content. Now, I've got all the pricing breakdown of what you'll save and that kind of thing. Some of it stays the same, some of it changes a hell of a lot, and it could make a huge difference to the collection, you know, of what happens with it because of how they are lined up. So here's the collection itself. I don't know if there's been any changes to this actually, so I kind of decided not to get Stormbringer when it was announced. I kind of shrugged it off. I didn't like the premium content at the time. That has now changed. And I already owned the vast majority of this stuff just from the Dominion set and various other little releases that I picked up along the way. And the only thing that I was interested in this really was the dragons and some of the scenery, because those are the things I haven't got. And I kind of, I've kind of moved away from Age of Sigmar as a war game, just because I am trying to remove myself from the aggressive price strategy of Games Workshop, sticking to the skirmish stuff, but that is proving aggressive enough, as you will see from today, when both a big box expansion from Warcry and from Kill Team is released on exactly the same day, which is crazy. I don't see any good reason for that, but that's what's happened anyway. Funnily enough, if you're interested in either of those, do have a look at my affiliate link for Element Games. There's a link in the description. Have a look at that. I love everyone who uses it. It's amazing. Anyway, let's move on with this. So here's the collection, and it is vast. There's a lot of stuff in here. So this premium content has taken me from the position whereby I was not interested in this collection at all, because I already owned most of the premium stuff and most of the collection anyway, to now I'm very interested in picking it up, but to a point, and we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so here's the premium stuff. Some of it we already knew, some of it has drastically changed. Maybe it changed a while ago and I just haven't been keeping an eye on it, so you let me know if that's the case. Okay, so randomly it starts with premium number 3. This is something we already knew. So this is a Grundstock gun hauler with Etheric Navigator and 3 Skywardens. Now, if you break down the cost of it, the gun hauler is £32.50, 3 Skywardens will cost you 30 quid, and the Navigator is £18. That's £80.50, about 50% saved. That's £40.50 per saving. So these come every 20 issues, so it's roughly £40 cost, because they're £2 per issue more. Okay, now here's the big change, for me at least. Krondis, son of Dracothian. He is now with premium issue number 1. Now, if you buy him from Games Workshop, it costs you 95 quid. So bearing in mind, this is going to be 40 quid on top of your normal subscription. It's a 58% saving, or £55. So that's really cool. Now, we know that everything that's in this collection, all the prices that are discussed, they give you the, this is what the saving is if you buy it from Games Workshop. Now, most people don't buy direct from Games Workshop. You can see from their annual accounts that they are doing a hell of a lot with the traders, except for anything that's exclusive. So their kind of retail is kind of 50-50. But bearing in mind, anything exclusive you can only get from Games Workshop anyway. So the day-to-day products, more people buy them from the traders anyway. And that's right. So like I mentioned Element Games earlier, if you don't know, if you've been under a rock and you don't know, you'll get, if you go over there for new releases and that kind of thing, you'll get a 20% discount, which is cool. You know, it's a much more manageable way of getting into the hobby, even though with news of the recent price increase and that kind of thing, that's going to make things even more difficult. But bearing in mind that the pricing is set for this collection, so that 6% price increase that we're getting very, very soon from Games Workshop, you know, all of this stuff will go up. So, you know, the savings we're making now will be more very soon, but bearing in mind that that is just from a price increase. So that's premium number 1, okay? And then premium number 2, I don't know why it's formatted in this way. We've got Gordrak Fist of Gork. Now, this is a model that I've been interested in for a long, long time. Okay, so he's £75, so that's a 34% saving, or £35. I've been interested in this for a very, very long time. So that is a big, big update. And then obviously, issue number 4, we have a Drankhold Troggoth and 3 Rockgut Troggoths. Now, for those, if you buy them all separately, that's $78.50. So it's a 49% saving, or £38.50 saving. So very, very cool stuff. Now, when I look through these premium kits, I'm not bothered by the Troggoth stuff, and I'm not bothered by the Grunstock Gunhauler, the Sky Wardens, and the Navigator. But I am interested in Gordrak, and very interested in Krondis, the big dragon. Now, the big change this makes to the collection for me is that those 2 kits are front loaded. So you'll get those within the first 40 issues, so the first half of the collection. So what I will possibly do is I will collect from the beginning up until a point, and then see, depending on what we've had and what we've still got to come, I'll probably tap out at that point. As soon as I get what I really, really want out of this collection, I'll tap out. I did the same thing with the last 40k run of Hachette models, and I'll probably do the same here, because when these Partworks things first started, so it started with 40k Conquest, I bought the full collection. It was fantastic. It was brilliant. There was nothing like it in terms of savings before that point. And then when I got into the first Age of Sigmar collection, its name escapes me for the moment, I was collecting. I found myself collecting relentlessly, but not building anything and not painting anything. So I collected that full run as well, and then when I started getting into collecting the current 40k one, after about 25 issues or so, I tapped out. I said, well, I'm not building this stuff anymore. I'm not painting it. It's never going to get to the table. Therefore, I am just collecting it through FOMO. And indeed, that's me all over with Warhammer products, to be fair. The FOMO is strong with me, and that's what I'm trying to buck the trend with for my own purchases. So at that point, I chose to tap out and not get in anymore. When Stormbringer got announced, I was interested, but I looked at my collection. I already had Dominion. I'd already picked up a few other stuff. I had the Stormcast collection that I had all the way through the last Partworks, which wasn't getting to the table and wasn't being played. So I've just viewed this as being, well, it will just be more stuff that will sit on the sprue. I'll be buying it because it's a perceived deal to me, but in reality, I'd be saving money by not buying it because I'm not going to do anything with it. And this stuff is great for second-hand market and that kind of thing, if you want to chase that. If you want to chase the second-hand market for these sort of things, that's great. But to be fair, I'm sure that once a whole load of these premium contents get delivered to people, there's going to be a lot of these on eBay anyway. So I will have not had to pay for the collection, and I'll be able to pick all of these up at a decent price anyway. So I thought it was worth going through that and kind of giving, again, a few more of my thoughts on Stormbringer. I actually have a copy of issue number 1. I bought it on eBay a few months ago to review when they did the trial, which is obviously successful because they're proceeding. But I never did anything with it, so it's kind of sat next to me on the table. So maybe I'll review that in the next week or so. If you want me to, let me know, and If you tell me you want me to, then I'll do it 100%. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more content like this, and I'll see you all very, very soon.